Welcome back, everybody. Today we are going to talk about window treatments, the world of window treatments. Like the coffee tables that I talked about last week, window treatments are just as overwhelming. There are so many different window treatments out there. And I have to tell you, I've been in many, many homes and I see some of the window treatments that are very outdated. Nowadays, people love a very minimalistic, open, airy design, letting a lot of natural light in. If you go out to the Hamptons at all and you see those really beautiful $1 million homes, most of them don't even have window treatments in it. Now I understand their privacy. They don't really have a privacy issue because they kind of own the land and they face the water. But they do they do not use a lot of heavy curtains or draperies or anything like that because the natural light comes in. And I know I'm of the mindset as well. I do have blinds on my windows simply because I don't want to look like I live in a fishbowl and everybody's watching what I'm doing. But I do try to keep my curtains down to a minimum. I don't like a very heavy look. I'm going to go over some of the window treatments that are available out there. Some of them you may know, some of them you may not know. So we're going to start off with shutters. Okay, these are shutters. They're louvered, or they're fixed and they control. This one here, remember the old days? You just take that little piece of wood right here and you move it up and down, and you can open and close the windows. This is another one here. This is called Plantation. I love Plantation shutters. These are custom-made window treatments, and they are not cheap. They were made very popular down by the South to eliminate all that the bright sun that comes in. Beautiful window treatments. If you come across Plantation shutters in your home, don't get rid of them. They are really, really nice. A beautiful look. They offer a lot of privacy, and you can adjust them just so. The next one I want to talk about is woven shades. Now, this one you'll see, woven shades can sometimes be called bamboo shade. They add texture. They're more of a casual look, but they can also use exotic reeds and grasses. Now, this one looks more wood, but I've also seen it where it's more of a fabric and it's more a dyed color, so it's not so much brown. Different variations on this particular look, but a very popular look. I really like this for the kitchen. Because I think it gives it a very organic textured feel in a kitchen. Sometimes the kitchen can be very, cold and sterile. So adding some sort of natural element like this is really very nice. The next one is cellular shade. I'm sure you're aware of this. This is really nice for the living room or a dining room. Kind of has a little bit of a romantic feel to it. If you can, I don't know if you can see it here, but you can see here, it looks like honeycomb. These are very energy efficient, and they can insulate the home really nice. They can come in single. I think this is a single. I've seen it double, and I've even seen triple, because they kind of trap their air in between it, and they kind of heat it up. So these are really nice because they insulate the home. And again, they give it a nice romantic look to it. Now, some of these cellular shades, they go up, and some of them actually come down. So different versions on it, and they got rid of the string now, which is great. So you don't have to worry about your kid strangling it. You just simply pull it up, push it down. So these are actually called cellular shade. I've also heard them called honeycomb shades, but they're really cellular shades. Okay, a little different than, say, a pleated shade. Now you see here a pleated shade. It pulls up and sits flat at the top of the window. It's very similar to cellular shade, but it doesn't have a honeycomb. And you can see here the different fabric and the different colors. If you get this custom, you can really, sky's the limit on this. A lot of these window treatments can be custom made to any type, fabric, patterns, material that you want. Sky's the limit as long as you have the financial budget to back it up. But this is a pleated shade, a little different than a cellular shade. The next one that you see is the Venetian blinds. Now, this is what most people have. Now, this it can be made out of metal, wood, or plastic. I would not recommend plastic because they crack and break easily. They're horrible. Metals are really good. Home Depot and Lowe's sells them. They cut them down to your size. The slats also can be in different ranges. This is a pretty wide slat. You can have the micro mini, and you can have the 2.5-inch slats. Back in the days, probably aging myself. These things here, remember that wide band? I used to hate it because it used to turn oxidized and turn yellow. They've made a comeback and they are much nicer. Most of them tend to be faux wood, but you can get real wood. And again, you can customize this, but this is most of the time when people want something in their window, this is what I recommend. Nishan blinds, just go to Home Depot, something very inexpensive, and then get your curtains on the side. Custom panel that. I like to get these in white and plain because this way you can change. This is me because I'm changing constantly. I can change on my curtains, but I'm not spending a fortune on my blinds. It's just the standard blinds, and then I just do my custom window treatments around it. So that is a nice option to have. This one I love, but you don't come across this all too often. This is a Soji. See that? Has a very Asian feel to it. It's made out of wood or bamboo. It's translucent rice paper. It's light filtering, but not room darkening. So it gives you the privacy, but it is not made for bedrooms. These are great for sliding doors or big picture windows. Require a little bit more of an installation, and you'll see the track on it because you kind of have to slide it. But I just love this look. It's a really unique look. I have to tell you the truth, I haven't come across it all that much, but it really is a very pretty look. So these are Soji panel screens. Okay, and then I'm sure some of you are probably familiar with this. It's a little bit different. These are panel tracks as opposed to vertical blinds. The panel tracks are great for picture windows or sliding doors. They come in different colors and size. You can see that the panel here is kind of wide. This one's kind of like a fabric. I've seen them in metal. I've seen them in wood. Again, variations can be custom to any size windows. These are great if you just want the privacy because you can open them all up and, you know, from the center, from one side, from the other side. So this is a panel track as opposed to this, which is a vertical. I'll show you the difference. See the difference? Okay? It's a little bit different. These are verticals. These are, I'm not too crazy about these. These have been, they were very popular in the old days. Well, not the old days, but they were very popular a few years ago, and they pretty much died out. I'm not a big fan of that, but I still see it because Home Depot and Lowe's sell them in stock, and it's probably one of the cheapest, easiest way to cover your windows, or your sliding doors. But honestly, no. Put curtains instead of this. I'm not a big fan of this, but I just wanted to put it out there. It does come in an array of different colors and material, but this is called vertical blinds. It's seen its days. Let's put it to rest. I don't really care for it. Okay, so now we talk about roller shades. Now, remember back in the old days, I'm probably aging myself again, when we used to go to Grandma's house and we go down in her little shade and you pull down the shade and you let go and you go and roll all up. Remember the roller shades? Okay. This is a variation of a roller shade. Doesn't quite do that because nowadays it's pretty much anchored, and I want to show you what it is because it comes in different. See? Roller shade. Can you see it? You see that? Okay. So you have the standard roll. You can see the standard roll. This is the reverse roll. And this one here is they call it a cassette. And then there's the metal. And you see how it all comes with some sort of valance on the top. I really love this. These work great for the kitchen. Now, you can see the fabric. It tends to be a very textured, the construction tends to be a little bit more modern. I think these are great, again, for the kitchen because they're made more like a plastic material. It doesn't sound good, but I'm telling you, it's a very textured plastic fabric type of material. And they're great because you can really clean it off and you don't have to worry about it. But they come in different light filtering, different colors, different patterns, and obviously you can see the different valances on this. And then the nice thing about this is you can get it a remote control. You ever watch that movie when the woman just pushes the button, all the blinds come down? Yeah, it would be the roller shade. So really kind of a nice feature. So this is the roller shade. Now, like the roller shade, the Roman shade have a tremendous amount of variations to it. Roman shades, they hang flat when they're closed. So it doesn't matter what style it is. When you close them, they hang completely flat. So it's nice to put some sort of pattern or fabric to it. Many different styles is the material on this. You can see this one, this is kind of gathers. This one kind of has a fold. This one gathers again with this little piece here, but it gathers more into a scallop. This one has more of a rolled fold. This one's more of a flat fold. I mean, different variations. Can be custom made. Most of the time it really is. You can buy some off the rack, but it's hard to fit a specific size window. Most of the time it's custom made, different fabric, different finishes, different style. I mean, you know, but I love this. This gives you the option of dressing a window without putting curtains, side panels on it, right? So you have the beauty of a curtain, right, fabric, without actually adding the fabric on the side. So it's great. Say, let's say you have a bedroom where the window is very close to your bed and is very close, which I happen to have in my house, right? I have a window that's more like in the corner. I have this much room before it hits the corner, and the bed is literally, this is the window and the bed is right next to it. I can't put curtains there. It just won't work. But I can put Roman shades on it, giving the illusion of, well, it's not illusion, giving that nice feel of fabric to it without really taking any room on either side of the window. So it's a great option for that. Okay, so now, the next one I want to talk about is silhouettes. These were very popular a few years ago. You can see these are veins that appear to float in between two sheer panels, which when you fold, they flop over, okay? You just close it, and it's kind of like a Venetian blinds with little material on it. Very, very popular, very, very expensive. However, having talking to a few of my clients, some of the issue I've heard about it is the little bugs or little gnats get in between this little thing here, and so you wind up having a lot of dead bugs inside here. So I kind of got turned off by that, and they are very, very pricey, but they are really beautiful. You just have to clean it out with one of those long fuzzy brushes, and again, different colors. They do tend to be sheer. They do let light come in, and they do offer privacy when you close them. So these are silhouettes. Okay. The next I want to talk about are curtains, okay? Curtains come in a huge variations of shape, material, sizes, patterns. They can be woven by hand. They can be corded, remote. I mean, it's just the possibilities on drapery / curtains is endless. So I'm going to give you some of the styles that are out there, okay? This is called a pole pocket. Just very simple. You put the pole in through the pocket. All right. This is kind of a traditional thing. Nowadays, they actually take the little clips and they hang them from here, and then they put the clips on the metal rod. So that's a different variation you can do with that. But this is actually called a pole pocket, and you can see what I'm talking about. These little links here. This one is called a tailored pleat, and it's just that they took the pleat and they tailored it in. All right. And again, they put those little rings. Now, back in the days, they used to have those little hook that went underneath so you wouldn't see these little rings. But nowadays, this is a more of a contemporary look. And so they added these rings, which is, I think is kind of neat. All right. So this is a tailored pleat, which is different than a pinched pleat. I think this is self-explanatory, right? They just kind of pinched it right here. Again, they're using the rings to give it a little bit more of a contemporary look to a very traditional style, but it works really nice. And now you have an inverted pleat. I don't see too many of these around, but they are out there because, as again, it's just inverted. You can see that. And then I think one of the most popular styles that are out there right now is the grommet. And it's just that, as you can see, you put the pole right into the grommet, which is really nice. It gives it a very contemporary look to it. I like it. One tip when you're hanging up your curtains, I say this all the time, don't hang up the rod and then get the curtain, because the curtain could be too short or it could be too long. You want to get the curtain first, measure where it sits, and then install the rod. So don't forget that, especially with things like this, right? You think, because it's going in. So even though it may be 84 inches long, it starts from here and there. So just be really be careful when you're hanging up your curtain. All right. The next one I want to talk about is sheer curtains. They're usually made from translucent fabric. They come in many different colors. It doesn't offer any privacy, but it does prevent people from just looking right into your space, right? So they'll see the shapes, but they don't really see you clearly. So it offers a little bit of privacy, but not a lot. It's definitely not a room darkening. Back in the days, they would have the Venetian blinds, and then sheer curtains, and then side panels, and then swags, and it was just a really heavy look. Now I see a lot of this, and I think it's really pretty. It's very romantic. It's very light and airy. It opens up the space. Let the light in. This is a style that you don't really see all that often. It is called the cafe curtain. It can actually be hung from suspension rod, which goes in between if you have one of those windows that you can put a suspension, or you can have one of those little rods, that kind of curve over and they attach to the wall. They can cover the top or the bottom or both. The reason being, if you cover the bottom and you leave the top open, you're letting the light in, but you still have some privacy. This is a really traditional, very old style. You don't really see them all that much. You used to see them in the dining rooms, in the kitchen. I'm not a big fan of them. If you have it, great. It's up to you, but this is really kind of an old style, so not my fan. The next one, I'm pretty sure you guys are... Yeah, remember these? These are called Austrian shades. They are fabric that are gathered into scallops. You see that? Yeah. And when they're down, they're just looser scallops. And when they go up, they're just tighter scallops. Okay, so you're all going to laugh at me because every time I see this, I think the inside lining of a coffin. I have never liked it. I think they're heavy. I think they're oppressive. I think they're dated. I think if you have them, you should just probably put them away. Just let the air in, people. Just let the light and the air in, and just get rid of these things. I'm not a big fan of it, but these are Austrian shades that not my favorite. Okay, another one that is still current. I still see them in today's house. If you have them, fine. Again, not my favorite. Swag. Curtains that swag across the pole. They can be free-forming like this one, or they can be custom like this one. Okay, many different variations on this one as well. You can see this one longer, one shorter. On this one, you can see it's evenly spaced, and they have it nice attached to this piece of wood here. Again, very popular probably in the 80s and 90s, but have since come and gone because, again, as I'm saying, the window treatments these days have gotten very simple. People like to have light come in. Just tired of sitting in an oppressive home. Let the light in. Let the air in. Open up your windows. If you need blinds for privacy, go for it. But if you're going to dress up your windows, choose some of the ones that I talked about that are very kind of minimalistic in design, because it's going to let the fabric and the pattern in without oppressively covering your windows. So anyways, that's it for today. There's a lot of different window treatments out there. Just do your homework before you decide what you're looking for. Look at the space, your design, and decide which way you want to go. Less is more. And have fun shopping. JCPenney's is a great place to shop for window treatments as well as your online. But I highly recommend you go to the store first to kind of get a feel of what you like and what it looks like, and then you can go shopping online. Of course, if you have any questions, you can always reach out to me, and if you have any comments, post it below. Until then, we'll see you next week. Everyone, have a great day. Bye now.